wait, no, we have to tell people about what we did because they're interested or something.
I probably can't actually include that part if we're putting them on YouTube.
Are you sure?
Their comment match system will catch it.
It's an ancient game.
Content.
But
match.
he just looked that up on YouTube.
That's not how that works.
It is.
That's how everything works.
It should be how it works, but it isn't.
Yeah. Welcome to Interdimensional Road Trip with your host, Kyle Sullivan. Yeah, we're going through space right now. That's why my voice does that. We're also here with Ethan, Ian, and Rachel.
Hi.
You may address
That was
Rachel
a good
by Snow
intro.
White if you address her at all.
Was it an okay intro? I'm trying.
It was a good intro.
James Baxter.
This dirt road is not two-way, buddy.
Let's ram him.
Sorry, this dirt hyperspace.
Oh man, look at all this
Dirt
star
roads in
dirt is getting in
hyperspace.
my eye.
Isn't that one never mind.
Sorry.
So anyway, we are on our way back from Scarborough Fair.
I mean Scarborough space.
The four of us were there, along with John and Avery and
Space.
Jeffrey and Amanda, his girlfriend. Reed was not able to make it, unfortunately.
But we met Minnie Reed.
We did meet Minnie Reed. There was another person there. We went up and... Oh, wait, no, you walked away.
No, I saw it.
No, but we went up and asked. We went to talk to it. Like, we asked it if it...
We should probably explain.
That's true. If you listen to last year's podcast...
I need to.
Reed dressed up as a plague doctor. And so we had, like, the leather bird... 1 second. Okay, we were off the dirt road.
I mean dirt space.
Dirt space. We're now on paved space. Reed dressed up as a plague doctor with a leather bird mask and a top hat and a nice coat that I made him. It was a very, very, very nice coat. And he looked awesome, and he would stand by the side of the road and stare at everybody. And we have a full recap of that one in the previous podcast. And he wasn't able to come, and it was disappointing. But today, we saw a much smaller person who was dressed basically the same way and doing the same thing. So,
Yeah.
And we went and asked
The coat was not as good.
if it had seen Reed last time, because we were wondering if that's where he got the inspiration from. But it was just like spiritually there to make up for Reed's absence, apparently.
That's really all we needed. I mean, I don't have any problem with Reed not being here anymore.
Yeah.
Who else would he have added, huh?
Well, we were able to thank it, and it nodded solemnly at us like it would be expected to do.
I mean, I think Reed would have bought another animal face to attach to his bike. That's what we missed.
The animal face industry is slightly less profitable. Because we're not here.
Although there was that really cool dragon costume. I actually saw it when I was trying to find Alchemist with John. It was actually really, really intricate, and its face moved and everything. I was slightly scared, but like hypnotized by it.
This year I went as Rodriguez El Cazoro. It was fun. Ethan went as traveling
Mule Man.
guy.
Just Mule Man at this
He
point.
got to be the bag carrot, the porter this time around.
I'm okay with this.
But
Because
you
I
look
got
great doing it.
I got access to all the stuff.
Yeah,
And I was like, yes, good. I can put things in here. And you'll have to ask me first.
Ian was the bard again. Jeffrey was the mage. Avery was
Wage number 3, I
Avery.
believe.
Amanda was also just kind of just generic Ren Fair costume, and John had his archer outfit with extra katana.
And
And then-
Rachel was dressed as
Rachel was Snow
fully
White.
as Snow White.
Yes.
Rachel's very slightly falling asleep right now, so she may not talk much.
Yeah,
No, we
we'll
just
see.
don't worry, we just have to play the Buck Bumble theme song again.
Oh my god.
So we started off. Rachel, tell them about your costume dilemmas.
What do you mean like the story of how I got my costume?
Yeah, like the full. Give us a breakdown of your costume choicing.
break it.
Okay, so I was originally going to dress up as Anne Boleyn because I'm getting my medieval studies degree right now, and I just watched Tudors and I thought Anne Boleyn is so cool. I want to look like her.
I keep trying to get her to do something more auspicious, like Catherine Parr, but
You know, like the beheading is not exactly like the way I want to end, but I still think Anne Boleyn is cool.
sorry, spoilers for medieval history.
Oh no.
So if you didn't know that, Anne Boleyn gets beheaded. There you go.
You could have
By
done
space aliens.
There was always that Halloween costume that I always saw where like you made yourself much taller than you actually were, and your head was like in your arms.
Oh yeah.
You could do that.
That would be great. Maybe I'll consider that in the future.
It's difficult to pull off, but if you can do it well, it's hilarious.
What if I just had really long ankles?
I mean, that's kind of
Maybe
creepy.
just make your dress longer.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the dress. But my friend is making me this medieval dress, this Tudor dress, And I talked to her about it, and she was like, wait, April 10th? I don't think I can have it ready by then. And I was like, oh, okay. So then she let me know she wasn't going to be ready. So then I was like, I have to be something else. What can I be where I can get a costume really easily? And I kind of have, I have really white skin and I have dark short hair right now. So I thought, well, I'll just go with Snow White, which is what I was for my first Halloween anyways. So I looked on the internet for Snow White costumes, and they came basically in like a couple varieties. There was like super slutty, like I have a really short skirt and it's very puffy and I'm showing basically all of my boobs right now kind of Snow White costume, and I thought like that was a little bit like they're gonna be like little kids walking around. It might not be the best to, do that in that way. And there was also like pre-made ones that were like $60 or $40 that were like made of nasty fabric, and they looked like they would fit me in a gross way. And they even the models looked frumpy in them. So I was kind of like, I don't really want to spend that much money to get a crappy costume either. So then I looked around for costume parts, and I actually found a corset on a lingerie website that looked quite a lot like Snow White. It was called Snow White, so it was intended for some Disney role play, I guess. And then I found a big long yellow skirt, so I bought that too.
I have no comments, but I'm thinking about a lot of things right now. Most of them involving Seven Dwarfs.
Okay, maybe it was for that.
Dwarfs.
For special events involving large groups. But but it ended up looking nice together, and I really think that I struck like a via media, like a middle way between super slutty Halloween costume Snow White and frumpy. I bought my costume from Party City Snow White.
You were the attention grabber this time. Like I got all the things thrown at me the first year for Red Pirate Roberts, and then Ethan was Solaire last time and got most of the attention, I guess. Mm-hmm. Granted, you got a lot of different kinds of attention than we did.
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of attention I didn't expect. I didn't expect. I thought maybe I would get a few like creepy old dudes. But I got a lot more creepy old dudes than I anticipated. In addition to attention from a bunch of little kids who were like, "Oh, Snow White!"
I'm just curious, just from your perspective, like, did the attention sources balance each other out in any way? Like, did it make up for it that you had all the little like princess girls taking pictures with you and everything?
It made me feel a little bit like I was being a bad role model if at the same time I'm getting like, oh, I like looking at your boobs attention, and also little kids are like, oh, you're so nice. Like, I don't know how I feel about...
We did the beer drinking thing, the beer tasting deal in the beer tasting pavilion. It was like, Snow White, knocking it back, all right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, and I thought that was a little funny. And probably like 10 people during the fair, or maybe more than that, came up and warned me to avoid apples the whole time, so that was funny.
And that's your line. Like, I had people saying "as you wish" to me, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually say anything back. That's my line. And then Ethan's was easy because he just had people yelling "praise the sun" at him, and then he would strike the pose.
What people should have been doing for you is like, fetch me the water jug, stable boy.
Yeah, there's so many things they could have done, but they weren't. I dressed as the character with the lines, so nobody knew what to say to me.
It's kind of unfortunate. Everybody just said your lines.
Yeah.
You should say something like, it's better when I do it. Or
yeah, that's a good one.
Give them tips. Anyways, Rachel was very popular this time around.
Yeah, I even got... this was really embarrassing for me. I got used as like a cleavage demonstration during a play.
Oh, yeah.
That was so bad. I felt really bad about it.
Yeah,
we spent like 2 minutes talking about my boobs. I thought that was really unnecessary.
I was honestly feeling pretty terrible on your behalf most of the time we were there.
Yeah, I knew I was going to be showing a lot of cleavage, so I figured that there would be some creepy people, but I thought, lots of other girls will also be showing cleavage, and it won't be a big deal.
Gold.
But, yeah, no, I was like primary colors.
I think the mistake being made here is thinking that there is a limited supply of
yeah.
Like, I guarantee you none of the others got it any less than you did.
I mean, maybe a little bit because they were able to blend in, but I mean, yeah, it's true. The shotgun method was definitely employed by the creepsters.
To be fair, I mean, like the worst thing ever is the women that have the boob trough, that just have them sticking out a foot horizontal. Like, that is the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
That is a little bit unsettling, actually. I mean,
I actually really like it. I'm like, I feel like power to those women. Like,
I mean, power to
show off your femininity.
But
Like,
it's just,
if your boobs are literally bigger than your head, I think it's okay for you.
No,
to
they weren't most of the time, though.
Like, it was just like settling into a weird, like, cooling jello. Like,
it was really just concerning for their health, it looked like. I mean, there's got to be something with the veins or something that's not good for that.
I mean, I don't know what they're very they can go in many directions.
If this is your first episode of our podcast, none of the rest of them are like this, by the way.
Sorry,
no,
yeah.
Trust me, they're all like this.
This is new.
Unless you're into that.
Everyone talks about boobs for an hour
On the way home.
All right. Yeah.
So what were your favorite parts
My
of
favorite
the
part was Bumble.
of the Ren Fair?
No,
Not
no.
this trip.
We've only been in the car for like 10 minutes.
I like when Jeffrey did the Harlem Shake so hard that it called the fire department.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Jeffrey got drunk, and then on the elevator ride up, in which we were 8 of us were packed into an elevator that was definitely built at least 50 years ago.
He just yells, "Do the Harlem Shake!" and just like starts seizuring, like you do.
And apparently just like slammed his face into the call fire department button or something. Like, what happened?
Yeah, and then the fire department literally got on the phone with us, and they were like, "Hey."
That was those people were talking to us.
Yeah.
They were just. It was,
Wait.
I thought that was a pre-recorded.
Oh, it was?
It was a pre-recorded line saying the same thing over and over.
Oh, it didn't sound like a machine to me.
I think they would have said, "Are you okay?" more than like.
But it said like call connected and everything. And so I mean, and let's just for the record, I mean, not to think that Jeffrey is like a lush or anything. He had like 2 drinks. They each had like half an ounce of triple sec in them.
That is all that Jeffrey takes.
It doesn't take much. I mean, Jeffrey is like he's a small person with a big heart and no capacity for alcohol.
Like Jeffrey could take a shot of like Dayquil and he'll be out.
Anyway, that wasn't part of the Ren Fest. I just wanted to mention.
That's true.
It was.
The hotel experience was overall much better this time, though.
Oh,
mainly
God.
because we didn't have anybody threatening to call the cops on us.
We called the cops ourselves.
Yeah, we just have to.
But I think like it was weather was pretty nice this time. Overall, decent experience again. I got to be Rodriguez for a couple of scenarios, like in talking to people. I got to deliver the whole opening line from the first episode.
We were all typecasted into very weird roles that don't really match our personalities. By Robert
They had to stretch because there were 8 of us.
Yeah, we ran into Sir Robert again. I think we mentioned him last time.
He's pretty awesome.
It's weird. Also, like the girls, all like he typecast all the men first, and then like he left the girls like stupid roles.
He's like 80. Come on.
I mean, no, well, okay, to be fair, 2 of the
Let's
girls
forgive
literally
him for
ran
that.
away in the middle of it. And so they got to be the naysayers, which is appropriate because they were naysaying and running away.
Yeah.
You should have like hyped up for Yes Man.
Well,
I think.
I mean, he was. This is also a guy who had been following me around all day, like making sexual innuendos.
Wait,
and
what?
Which
He hasn't
guy?
really
Not
been-
Sir
No, the
Robert,
mayor.
right?
You weren't there
Oh,
the whole
mayor.
time, but the
Oh.
mayor followed me around, told me I was stalking him, but I ran into him like 6 times, and every time
I mean,
he,
it's
like,
actually
made a
his
comment about my
job
body.
to walk
Like,
around,
he
walk
didn't
around the
have
fair.
to do that, but like.
I mean, the body comments are unnecessary.
Yeah, like.
But it is actually his job to stalk around the fair and talk to people. So.
Yeah, no, it is. It's true.
Robert has really been all class every time we run into him.
He once literally gave us. What? Oh yeah. Last time he literally gave us a class on how to, roll your hat.
Yeah. I forgot he taught us the hat twirling.
We also told John not to stab Avery.
It was pretty funny when half of our group got to him first at one point, and then he was asking where the rest of us were. We said we don't know, we left them behind or something. I don't think and then we saw them like walking way down the path. Like, oh, there they are, and he just takes off. Like 80-year-old guy, like he just sprints down the path towards them. And the next thing I don't know what happened when he got to you guys, but from
He's
our
like,
perspective,
come
he
along,
runs
come
off.
along, and he pushes us behind. He says, no, you must skip. And so we start
So we
skipping
see them
along with it.
skipping down the path. Like this.
I mean, we couldn't skip all the way because there were people in the way, and so we kind of.
Along with him, like it's not like he was just making you guys do that.
No, he was also skipping.
He was
Also-
skipping better than all of us, I think.
So this is a minor segue into Quest Guy. There's a guy there who had a big styrofoam sphere, and on top of that, a big styrofoam cone upside down. So any angle you look at him, it looked like he had a big exclamation point over his head. And so, seizing the opportunity, intuitively, Jeffrey runs up and yells, "Do you have a quest for me?" And he goes, "I do!" And he reaches into his little kilt pack thing, and he picks out a scroll, a tiny little scroll, and he gives it to him. And it was something like, take a picture with a fair maiden and return to me with proof or something. And so Jeffrey takes a selfie with his girlfriend and hands it back to him. And he's like, I have a quest reward! And he gives him a dum-dum.
So then I run over like, I want one. And then his was, he gave me like 3 different options. The middle one was perform a feat of strength. So in character, I dropped and did some push-ups.
And he's like, does that count as a feat of strength? The guy says, yes! And he's like, okay then.
And then I got a lollipop. And then so Robert asked me to do a one-handed one, and I learned that I could not.
And neither could John. But you know who can? Sir Robert.
He can, in fact, do one-handed push-up.
Yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I like Sir Robert.
Sir Robert was funny.
If you ever get a chance to go to Scarborough Fair, and like just anybody you see working there, ask where Sir Robert is. Just go find him and talk to him. He's great.
We're passing the Monolithic Dome Institute.
Oh yeah, we missed it on the way here.
Bye, Monolithic Dome Institute.
Yeah, I had one of the vendors ask if I actually worked at the fair because I said this time we walked by like 8 times, and I was like, well, yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
Yeah, Ethan the entire time would like, anytime we started, we got occupied with something, he would just vanish into thin air and then return like 15 minutes later having bought some new weird thing.
They were all really cool every single time.
How much cash did you bring with you? That stuff isn't cheap.
I didn't bring that much. I spent it very well.
Did you see the guy? You hear in the sword shop, like the really really nice sword shop, the sword with the multi-$1,000 swords. The shop. He's saying people will come here and they'll just drop $40,000.
Yeah, he actually said that he can't make them as fast as people buy them.
And these swords are priced at like $5,000 a piece. I mean, like
that's 20 swords. That's a lot of swords. You want price with that?
Wow, that's amazing. I should apparently become like a blacksmith's apprentice.
I told you, I'm gonna open up a blacksmith shop once I'm retired.
Then
and
you want
learn blacksmithing.
Yeah, I will learn blacksmithery, and I'll die being able to make a competent blade that nobody will buy.
Well, apparently everyone will buy them.
No, it's not at my level of blacksmithery.
I've always wondered, like, how well do some of these shops do? Like, there's one of them that sells, like, old-timey navigation instruments.
The astrolabe guy, yeah.
Yeah. They look extremely well made, but they also are extremely expensive.
And he's obviously very, very into it also.
Oh, yeah.
The last time it was a woman, and they're both really into it. They have a website, people who do this kind of thing, they travel with the fairs,
They're all Etsy people, and then, they always travel around. It's like the guy that I color, I know a guy who does artwork of superheroes and things, and I digitally color some of them for him, and he travels around and goes to, like, the Comic-Con kind of thing, so it's basically the same deal. They just have their thing that they make, and they travel to the fairs because that's what they sell.
I guess being an artisan, the best thing you can do is join, like, a traveling fair or a traveling, anything like that, because you can, like, sell your product to a niche audience that will be going there over a large area.
And maybe it is, again, they do charge a lot, so maybe, like, selling a few is enough to cover your overhead.
Yeah, I guess. It just, it depends on the quality and like, it's still really cool that people are able to just do that for their living.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how well it works, or if they're like. Really
some of those
poor.
people are there every time, so I guess it's working.
Yeah, I mean,
well
it just managed to stay alive 3 years in a row, so.
Yeah.
We had a stupid song thing going on the whole time.
I would understand.
You just need to listen to the first part of the podcast for that.
I forgot. That was in the other podcast.
But I mean, if you didn't listen to the first part of the podcast, I would understand.
For whatever reason, I got Jumper by Third Eye Blind stuck in everyone's head. Like, I think I just offhandedly mentioned it, and then you're all like...
It actually happened on podcast, so we can go back...
Like, those aren't the lyrics, and I was like, yes, they are.
It's just know that it persisted over the last 2 days.
And also, like, what else? Like, Buck Bumble, maybe. And, like, there was another song that we were just, like...
we were listening to lots of weird, slightly cheesy songs from the early 2000s.
The 90s and 2000s.
Yep, the early aughts was our theme track.
43.
I actually did, my favorite Rodriguez interaction was actually with the, I don't think anybody even was there, it was just with the little girl who worked at the mask shop.
She threw things at me.
She threw things at you?
Yeah, she threw business cards at me.
I was
like, wow.
Well, she asked me, who are you? Which was just amazing. So yeah, I yelled my I am Rodriguez Alcazaro and looked at her. She just kind of looked at me. And she's holding this little stick with a mustache on the end of it. So I was just like, I see you have a mustache wand. Can you use it to cast mustache spells? And she just kind of holds it up to me, and she can like, because when you hold it up to somebody, you just like put a mustache on their face. Like, I approve.
That's a great interaction. She was really,
That
she was
was
pretty
fun.
spunky.
She was great. She was like,
Yeah, I don't know how she was the only child employed by the fair, I
I
think.
wasn't really expected that.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. I guess her parent was one of the other people there.
Most likely.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you have
think
to
I
live
think
there
she was
basically
really-
while
I
you're
think she was
in the fair.
related to the shopkeeper who made the
I've
masks
always
or something.
wondered, like,
You can't legally hire someone else, so
No.
that had to have been what was happening.
well, the thing is, I've always wondered if, like your parents work at, like, I assume that the two glass people are at least married or have been together for a long enough time.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was thinking, like, if they had a kid, like, I think their kid would, like, half grow up in a Ren Fair.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, like, would you be the cool Ren Fair kid at school, or would you be the weird kid with tights at school? Like, I never knew.
Yeah, I think they just have to like live with it. I mean, I don't think it's weird. Like she was, how old? Young was Mask Girl?
She had to be younger than 10.
Younger than 10, but older than 5.
I wonder, like, because she's missing school for this.
What's a weekend?
Yeah.
What? I guess it is on the weekend. Yeah.
If they are travelers, if they live in Waxahachie, then
Is it not open on Fridays?
no,
She
it's
could
only
always
Saturdays,
be
Sundays,
homeschooled.
and then like their Memorial Day weekend or something. It's only on days off.
They could always be
Because-
like, that's a thing.
Oh yeah, but I think everybody there, again, like they probably don't actually make a full living off of that stuff.
No, they probably have like day jobs.
An
Yeah.
actual job.
But like I know glass blowing guys from New York. Like he comes
That's
down
far
for
away.
this. Like he travels all over the country doing this stuff.
This stuff is really good, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean I'm not sure that I would ever really pay $2,000 for one of his vases, but
I did never think I would be watching a glass blowing demonstration 3 times.
Yeah, and still be impressed by the
I've
third
actually
time.
done that now.
and we finally saw him not break one.
Yeah, but I don't think you broke one the first day that I saw one, but it was like the one day you weren't there the first year. That we
Yeah.
did.
Oh, look, the Church of Bucky's. Plenty
That
of
seems
parking
early.
and potties.
Are we already almost?
77 miles away.
Yeah, so we'll be in Temple in an hour. We're gonna stop at Buc-ee's, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can stop at Buc-ee's this time.
Yes. Yes.
All
I
right,
didn't eat. I prepared. Didn't eat.
So there's a Buc-ee's on our this
Buc-ee's
past.
is definitely only a Texas thing, so
No,
you should elaborate
is
on
it?
that.
Yeah, okay. So Buc-ee's it's a giant restroom palace gas station.
Yeah,
The Whiz
no
Palace.
If
The
you
Whiz-
loaded a ton of money into a gas station rest stop, you would end up at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, it's very nice. It's very clean. They have a wall of candy, but it's gigantic. Like it's literally bigger than some Walmarts I've been to.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is kind of like if you take all the amenities of a sort of okay gas station and you multiply them by 20 and add a layer of niceness, then you
If
get
you
that.
multiply by Walmart, if you put,
Yeah, no,
multiply
that's
gas
true.
station times Walmart equals Buc-ee's.
Well, I mean,
hold on,
plus
there's some cleansing
plus
in there
something
somewhere.
else.
You
Yeah,
can't
there's
just
some
multiply
cleaning.
I don't
yeah.
know. I mean, like, I'm not sure that
Buc-ee's
Buc-ee's
time.
is clean. Like Walmart's gross, but it's not gas station gross.
Okay.
It can be.
It's gas station times Walmart to the power of nice.
Not to the that's
That sounds like Powerpuff Girls or something. I don't know.
wait. That math doesn't check out. It's plus nice.
No.
It's a linear equation.
Fine, plus the square root of nice, which is just okay.
In any case, but so they built one in a city called Temple. It's on this drive. But so you keep seeing the billboards are really ominous. Like there's a big black billboard with a little beaver head symbol. It says like 2015 Buc-ee's. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is, and it says Buc-ee's Temple.
Yeah,
because
Buc-ee's
it's in
Temple. It just looks like it's like there's a Buc-ee's Temple being made.
Yeah,
And
no, the worst one just says TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just the creepiest, which is an allusion to it opening. I don't. It's
No,
not
I'm
like
pretty
they're
sure it's
not
a world
advertising
domination
vlogs. What?
It's pretty sure it's a world domination plan.
No, it is. But it's not. It's not trying to allude to that in its advertising. It's
Anyways, so exciting is the drive between Waxahachie and Austin that this new gas station is our big news.
well, in fairness, it's a really nice gas station, as we've exemplified before.
On the way here, we
Not
did
exemplified,
stop to see Reed at
explained.
least. Like that was our break then.
He threw a ball at us.
He showed us his friends.
He didn't
just, like,
introduce us to them. He just showed us to
He
them.
just walked us from door to door and like opened it and was like,
This
"That's
is
Marcellus."
Chad. Chad was like, hey.
I actually gave the wimpiest handshake of my life to Marcellus. Like it only included like 2 of my fingers. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy who like wants to redo the handshake, but we both knew it sucked, and so it was just kind of awkward. Like he stopped for a second, like, "Are you gonna do it?" I was like, "No." So we just kind of kept going. I was like, "Okay, man." It's like, well, at least I finished not with dignity, but maybe with honor. I'm not sure.
I got a good insight into basically Reed's interactions every day there, because every single time you would leave, the guys would be like, "Reed, why do you keep doing this stuff?"
He just takes like Chad and brings it to Marcellus. Hey, Marcellus, this is Chad. Like, oh.
Or like his one friend, he probably was like, I don't remember any of the names. Like, this is Eric, he's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Eric looked like a beautiful German ad.
Yeah, he did.
Like from the 40s. He was like the blondest.
We're talking about Nazis, in
palest,
case you're wondering.
most
Yeah.
blue-eyed person I've ever seen, and he was really beautiful, and it was weird. I was like, what the heck is this person doing here? Like, why are you
All
here?
of his friends were nicer than him, I think.
Oh God.
Fucking.
Sorry, I actually just saw an advertisement for
Almost.
Up in Smoke Barbecue.
For what?
Up in Smoke Barbecue.
Don't worry, we're almost to Buc-ee's.
Almost there.
73 miles.
Really, they didn't have to choose that color scheme. It's very ominous.
Wait, wasn't the last one 73 miles?
77.
Oh.
We're 4 miles
Every
closer.
4 miles.
Maybe it really is. We should keep track.
I want to do that. Let's go to Brahms, like ice cream and gross burger.
I mean, if you're going to stop at a place like... You want to stop in Elgin, which is the slogan, you can smell our pits from miles away.
All right.
I do want to go to that place.
It's fine. They don't do...
Were you able to smell their pits?
No. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't... They're lying. It's false advertising.
You smell
Wow.
my pits?
Oh,
I can't.
Let's see, what else did we do? We saw... Is his name Terry Foy? You have the DVD, right?
Oh, that guy.
yeah.
He markets himself as Zilch the Tory Steller. And his whole gig is telling really bawdy versions of Shakespeare and things.
Well, Shakespeare's already body, but he...
Bawdier, yeah, he rebodifies it for a modern audience.
He was
But
really hilarious.
He
But it's brilliant.
spoonerizes. He puts... So he told us the story of Jomeo and Juliet.
Which was excellent.
I don't think you could actually, like, you're not actually allowed to find that offensive. Like, it's too genius.
No, wait, and he's
Well,
so clever.
He was
so
really
incredibly
clever, which is,
clever.
I mean, but I still felt super
No, he's
uncomfortable
also the guy that did the thing to Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
by
I'm sorry.
spoonerizing A Tale of Two Cities.
Think about it.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yeah,
you can.
Zilch the Tory Steller.
I mean, he is...
Terry
I mean,
Foy.
I actually really liked him
Foy.
despite that, which goes to show you how clever he is. Because I
Yeah.
felt super. That made me really uncomfortable.
He was very apologetic and very nice about it.
He wasn't apologetic.
Okay, no, he
He
wasn't.
was
Robin
not.
Williams.
But he did a Robin Williams impression at one point. It was
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, the whole time, like, there's kids sitting in the front row, and he keeps making separate jokes to them because he knows they can't understand a word that he's saying. Which is
And
kind
he's
of the
so
beauty of
grateful.
what he's doing. Oh, but he was good.
Yeah, he was really funny.
I think that was the only show that we actually sat down for this time.
I
right?
watched
No,
I watched
because
the Bellman.
the chains guy we stood up for.
Oh, right, Chains guy. That was this morning. There was some guy, he was an escape artist, but he was a very attention-hungry escape artist.
He was incredibly entertaining and very good. He popped out his own joints to make it work.
He deserved every painful clap I gave him.
Yeah.
What about Bell Guy?
Bell guy.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
guy.
Bell guy.
So-
Playing the bell instrument.
So this guy was
He
on
definitely
America's
made
Got
it.
Talent like a couple of seasons ago, well, probably a few seasons ago back now, and they hated him. They brought him outside. He has a giant bell piano, and he's like, "Where's like a black headstock with a bird on it that half it looks like a mask?"
It's like a goose in flight or a swan in
yeah,
flight.
it's like a heron in flight, too.
Like a golden bird in flight is his face.
And he gets like really emotional looking during his.
Yeah,
he's like,
he does.
He like swans out his arms and brings them down. He's like a ballet dancer, but he plays a bell piano.
And he wears like
with a headstock on.
It's like a piano keys on his end, but then stretching all the way down is this huge contraption that just holds these
Yeah, an
bells
array of
varying
bells.
sizes. And by varying sizes, I mean little ones all the way up to person-sized ones.
Like church bell.
And yeah, it's just hooked up that when he hits the keys, it plays the bell, so it's this really loud, resonating bell sound.
Wait,
Yeah.
what is on American Got Talent?
Because they hate everyone on America's Got Talent. They hate
I mean-
Lindsay Sterling on America's Got Talent.
Why?
Probably because her
they're terrible people.
her presentation was probably weird or something, or I don't know. But the main thing is he was weird, and they didn't. It was basically just playing the piano.
The main thing is he was weird.
Yeah, no, he was actually just
He was-
Like,
He was kind of like Quasimodo plus Phantom of the Opera.
it worked in
Phantom
context. That's what it is. Like
Yeah,
in
well-
the context of the Ren Fair, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially. But like
But
the thing about America's Got Talent, they also like move the entire studio audience outside because because his piano was set up out there, right?
Yeah.
And so it was like this big built-up thing, and then there's this weird guy swanning all over the place playing the piano.
I can see how that would be a bit anticlimactic.
Also, he doesn't speak, but he has like a pre-recording that goes.
Really.
Oh, he's wait, really?
Yeah, that talks about like how mysterious his bell is or something, and how many years and passed through the ages. I mean, it's a lot cheesier with the opening narration.
Yeah, so I actually couldn't watch very much of it, even though I like that sort of thing, because of how much like empathy angst I got. Like I was like, this guy makes me super uncomfortable. Like he is making me feel like I am in 8th grade again and full of unhappy feelings, like with an overtone of like medievalism.
That's really weird. That's
What?
not normal.
Okay, maybe that's not.
That's just
maybe
cute.
That's not a normal
Music was
reaction.
nice, though.
Music was nice.
Yeah, no, it was pretty. It was just kind of like I just felt unsettled.
I'm gonna call him the Phantom of Quasimodo for now.
Kind of
Yeah.
weird. Just sort of like directing this towards interesting people we saw there again, because we did see more people. Probably the most unique was Baymax.
Wait, we saw Baymax.
Oh yeah,
That was weird.
He just kind of showed up like, screw you all, on Baymax.
I don't understand why Baymax.
Like he was in an inflatable suit and just walked around, and that was it. Like he walked around and stared and acted like Baymax. And if you went up and interacted with him, he would do it correctly.
Which somebody should have pretended to get injured.
No,
Well, Avery
everyone did that.
did do something.
Avery said, "I'm satisfied with my care,"
Yeah.
or something.
He just like patted her on the head and then left. But we have, if you've seen our comment response video, there's a fantastic shot where behind Ian, and that's going to be highlighted, so I'm sure you've seen this. But Baymax and
Quest guy.
Quest guy just walk by behind him at the exact moment Ethan has started recording, and just high-five each other without stopping. They just raise their arms and just both like synchronized high-five.
It's pretty great. It's like, all right, go. Like they were doing the clap for us.
But yeah, he was fun just watching him.
Ow, I
pop
forgot it
on
hurts to clap. I forgot it hurts to clap.
Oh God, why?
What is wrong with you people?
We clapped a lot.
Stupid.
Your hands hurt from clapping?
The escape artist guy.
I know he
He
made
was
clap
so applause hungry.
I've never cheered as much.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he
was
let
really,
us dry. Like,
You know, I really was like, if you didn't ask me to clap every 2 minutes, I wouldn't be clapping so much. Like, I wouldn't
and
be
he
so
knew that,
tired.
and that's why he wanted you to clap.
Hey guys,
He was pretty funny though.
Yeah.
guys, easy off, easy on, slotchkis.
Except for,
Thanks.
he was a little off, like, he's a little, like, off color or something. Like, but
I
that's
mean,
okay.
yeah, but that was his
And he
gig.
made Amanda
Yeah,
touch his
true.
butt, and he touched Amanda without her permission, and I thought that was bad.
I mean, he
I
kind
missed
of
that part.
he briefly touched
Like
her,
he
her
made
sides.
her like feel him up and down
Oh,
in order to
the
he made her
frisking
frisk
thing,
him,
yeah.
and then like for the audience, but then he frisked her.
But he didn't
in
really
turn.
frisk. I mean,
he touched her and stuff.
I was
though.
standing right there. He didn't really
He
do it as
touched
much.
her, like hips and waist.
No,
and
I mean,
stuff.
he really
It was
he was making more of a show of it than he actually touched.
Okay, maybe so, but she
I mean,
said
but-
she so felt bad afterward.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
It wasn't nice.
It wasn't super nice.
I mean, but he was really funny at the same time.
I mean,
like all
he
these
is-
guys who were like weirdly creepy, who were also kind of like entertaining in their own
I mean,
way.
so some of the annoyances of the Ren Fair, like they're there to get your money, and they know that, and they know that you know that, and so they don't make a whole lot of bones about it. But it means that you have a lot of people who are just like actually shouting at you the whole time, "Give me money!"
like, but in a charming way,
Yeah, I mean,
which
it's like-
kind of makes
made it
you want to
funny.
give
I
them
mean, they
money.
made it funny, but it's like at the same time, you still feel like a jerk because there's only so much money to give.
Yeah.
I gave Pickle Guy $3.
Pickle
I-
Guy is consistently fantastic.
Yeah, Pickle Guy is. I mean,
I don't know how he made the act of buying a pickle entertaining, but he somehow did.
He just drags a wagon full of pickles around and sells them to people, and also insults everyone that he sees. It's
and then
great.
he blessed us with pickles.
But in a weird way, like
Ah! Oh my God! What?
it's the lime.
Oh,
okay, so this lime
that was
green bar,
really uncomfortable.
I swear to God, it's passed us like 3 different times on this trip.
And it was there at the Renfest both days.
Maybe they're just really popular.
It's exactly like Kyle's car, but lime green.
So it's actually just a lime. We're like driving down the hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, like they use the insult humor a lot there, and most of them, like this one guy for some reason never makes you feel bad though.
The pickle guy, I mean,
I was never even remotely offended. Like everything he said was hilarious.
he just so consistently wants to be entertaining. Like, and when people were leaving alone for a while, he would just shout out to the crowd, "Where do babies come from?" It's just things like that. Just
I
like,
think it's truly just because it's obvious that he has no shame at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's just.
How can you kill something that has no shame?
So it's hard. Yeah, it's just like, well, all right. Nothing you say really holds any emotional weight to it because you clearly just do whatever comes to your brain immediately.
yeah. So, in any case, the other thing is, what's really annoying is being there with a significant other. Because every single person's like, "Oh, Snow White, will your Prince Charming buy you this $800 necklace?" Or what? Surely your Prince Charming can afford it. $3 flower, which is like, yes, but not every single time I pass you by. And it was. It's just like, it gives them something to latch onto, and I feel like I'm too nice of a person to not feel bad about passing by everybody who wants me to buy things.
It's a weird thing. Like, you get better at Ren Fair as you go because you start developing responses to their auto responses.
Yeah.
Like, everyone, it starts into being this weird choreographed thing.
They're slowly turning this into NPCs.
Yeah, I mean, just think about if you had empathy for NPCs in a video game.
I do.
Y'all people suck.
I usually do too, actually.
Wait, not like shopkeepers?
I have trouble, like, well, you know how you play games by running through and killing everyone?
Okay, that's only Bethesda games.
Well, even in those, I can't bring myself to do that. I don't know. I have problems. Like, even digital people, like, they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, come on.
I played a pure Paragon file on Mass Effect. Literally every single blue option, except for one, but that's unimportant.
The only time, I've mentioned this before, is the only time I've ever actually killed an NPC was in Half-Life.
Oh, yeah.
Which was when Half-Life was super stressful, because I hadn't played it before. I'm sure anyone else who's played it knows, like, Half-Life, just the first run-through is always pretty stressful. And I had, like, fallen into a vat of toxic waste or something, managed to climb out, my health was like at 10, basically like gasping for breath or something, and then I realized there was this scientist guy standing there, staring at me, and all of these scientists, all the NPCs choose from, you know, like a random...
This is Half-Life 1?
Yeah, this is just the first one. They just choose a random line from their list, and the one that this guy happened to pick at this point was, I see you're wearing the new AGV suit. That should come in handy. And so I took out my revolver and I shot him in the head.
Anybody who has gone through Half-Life without killing a single scientist is clearly just doesn't listen to them at all. Huh. Anybody else we saw? Who else did we see?
There were the usuals, you know, we saw Ezio's. There were a lot of doctors this time.
Yeah, many doctors
much to my chagrin.
We saw a Capaldi, which was nice.
Yeah, I'm almost getting used to them. There, you know, there's always the ones that are like there was a very large Matt Smith there that definitely was. He was wearing a fez.
Oh, I didn't see the Matt Smith at all.
No, he was round.
Yeah, okay.
He was not Matt Smith shaped. So you know, there were the ones where it's like I can see what you're going for, but it's not working.
We've also discovered a new class of cosplayer, the better from behind cosplayer.
We saw lots of Fourth Doctors that looked great until they turned around to face us.
And it's like, I mean, I understand because, and also again, I mean,
it's like they didn't look bad, like bad people. They
no, they were just totally fine looking.
Doctors.
And
like
so they put a lot of
right.
effort into like the wig and like the costume covers you from behind. And like Gandalf, he had the wig, but you know, he also had a blonde beard, like you know, an inch long blonde beard, and was smoking a cigar.
Yeah, they put everything. They put effort into everything except for their face.
Which is, you know, I mean, fine. It's just a specific class of cosplay.
But there was a 12th Doctor, which is really cool, and he was traveling with a 6th and a 9th that also looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They only need
A 6th? Did you see? Oh, yeah.
I saw the 6th. I saw him walking by while we were watching the performance.
Yeah.
It's just like I think my favorite two costumes was guy with chainmail shirt and jeans.
Yeah, I love it.
And
Like,
then I saw the reverse of that. Guy with no shirt and chainmail pants. And the best one ever. Guy in Metallica t-shirt, black pants, and axe. Like an axe in his like belt.
Well, there was another guy who looked like he was just walking down the streets of New York or something. He just had like shorts and a t-shirt, had headphones in, like earbuds, dreadlocks, and then also some devil horns.
yeah.
He was just wearing some horns.
I liked a Skyrim guy that was just like random chunks of leather and metal.
Yeah.
And like a spiky Viking helmet.
You get fur, you put metal on top of it, and then you just like place it on all the parts that don't really need to be protected that much, and you look like you're in Skyrim pretty much.
Yeah.
People were wigging out over the Snow White costume. I mean, but aside from the creepy men, but like
girls too. Yeah.
Like
it was
lots.
a very good costume. Like just a point that I don't know how we painted this earlier in this podcast. Like it was a fantastic costume.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Rachel is an excellent Snow White, but it's like I did not expect people to go so gaga over Snow White.
I didn't either. Actually.
She's like the Disney princess I don't remember. But she just like everybody wanted their picture with Snow White.
Yeah, no, really. Like at the end, I was like, I couldn't walk somewhere for like 5 minutes without
like
being
50 feet before she had to stop and take a picture of some kids again.
It was like she worked at Disney World.
Yeah.
No, it was like that. It was like I was visiting from Disney World with more
that's
cleavage.
good,
I don't know,
that's
like
good
it was
practice.
like
now,
yeah.
Now you know you never want to work at Disney World.
Well, actually, I like the kids.
Yeah.
I thought I liked interacting with the children. That warmed my heart.
Also, you would probably look a little less lingerie-ish if you actually got the actual official Disney World costume, so the creepy men might step back.
No.
Maybe.
No, they wouldn't.
A little. I'd like to think that the lingerie tracks... I don't know.
I would hope,
Well, I mean...
if any reason, it would be because there were more children around, but I may still be overestimating people.
I mean, the lingerie had sleeves, but it wasn't
those
like
are the most
that.
superfluous
It wasn't like
sleeves of all
that
time.
skimpy of a thing. Like it was just like it was pushing up, but that's.
we can't really blame the costume for most. I was just kind of generally
I'm
disheartened.
not blaming the costume, but I mean, like...
It's all your fault, costume.
Yeah, geez, costume.
I mean, the actual... Like, I don't know, have you ever seen, like, the Snow White costume? It's extremely modest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
The Disney one for sure.
Like, but even by Disney standards.
I mean, it still goes in like it's still like the official Disney ones are still like in the frumpy category. Although there were like two that were like $200 that were okay.
Yeah.
Like that looked like they might look okay, but at the same time, like I think that this was like better for. Like I chose this one because I thought it would go with my body shape better.
It's a weird thing at the rent fair where it's just like everyone just kind of accepts that's just how it goes there. Like if you were anywhere else and that was like what you were saying, it probably wouldn't happen at Disney World quite as much because at Disney World it's just kind of generally known that that's not the way you behave. But at a Renaissance fair,
I
it's
mean,
like,
at
Yeah, no,
Renfest,
people are
everybody
like, oh,
dresses
it's
like that,
spotty
and they're
and
dressing
blah,
like
blah,
that to
blah.
get noticed, usually.
so,
At the Renfest specifically. In public, no.
I mean, I think.
disappointing, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I really appreciate that, like, people took the time out to stop and appreciate your costume since you know.
But you got plenty of legit compliments also.
Yeah, no, I think I got more legitimate compliments than I got creepy people.
And, like, you
Or at least
people
it wasn't
noticed
even
yours,
third,
Kyle.
you know?
They did. Well, a lot of people noticed mine. I actually saw people like looking at me a lot, and I don't know if they thought I was somebody else or if I
people-
was just noticeable.
I
People
think they were
comment
trying
on
to
yours
fish
a
for
few times. I mean, like,
associations or
for
something.
reference, I've had literally 0 people ever comment on my costume at all.
Yeah.
Even Ethan's this year got a couple of comments.
I did.
Like once or twice, and you're like, it's only one piece. I mean, people talk to you
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
that's true. Yeah.
And like the Magica robes, people talk about
Yeah.
that. But like nobody has. I am like perfectly inconspicuous. Like nobody bothers to talk about my costume at
Yeah.
all.
I was called a thief a few times, which is accurate. That's where Rodriguez's costume came from. I actually got misidentified as the Dread Pirate Roberts multiple times.
Yeah, that was funny.
Which is weird, because other than the mask, I don't really look... I guess I'm the same silhouette is the problem.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those weird people.
Yeah,
that's like
he's
a
so
different
tall and skinny. We kept calling him Rodriguez Elka High School.
I did medieval Wolverine once. That was pretty good.
I missed that. That's
I believe it was
awesome.
Ye Old Wolverine.
The old Wolverine, that's what I was
Like on the way out.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No, you
also-
you also got the Huntsman
Yes,
when
I
we were
did
walking
see the
together.
Huntsman at one point.
Which I don't.
I think it was just
Does
because
the
I was
Huntsman
with
wear
you
a
and nobody
mask?
else was
Yeah,
I don't know.
John
Yeah.
wasn't there at the moment.
And when near the end, John kept getting identified as the Huntsman, which is kind of good.
Yeah. No, that was funny. He also bought me an apple at the very end of the fair, which was cute. But yeah, it was a nice time.
Oh yeah, also, pro tip, if Kyle offers you boots, say no and run away. Because he has ripped the soles out of them and handed them to you.
They weren't there in the first place, actually. Buying costume boots, you usually have to supply more pieces to them to make them work.
That's just the supervillain in Kyle, ripping things souls out, using them for his own nefarious
So
purposes.
that's evil. I remember I don't do the evil things. I'm not actually a supervillain.
That's all right, you're right.
Tendencies. I'm more in the category of like Sherlock or something. Where
You're a failed supervillain. You're like a brown dwarf, like a supernova that almost happened but not quite.
Science joke, not for Ethan.
Like, you know, it's like it's almost a sun but not really. Anyway, you could have been in another dimension. You are a supervillain.
I don't really aspire for supervillain. I don't know if I made it seem
Yeah.
like I do at some point.
In another dimension, I'm an owl. That doesn't matter.
I think I just talked about how I can't kill NPCs.
I mean, you're like a neutered supervillain or something. You're like you maybe had that aggressive urge, but now it's gone. You have all the pieces, just none of the will.
You can't give me the Sherlock category. I mean, come on.
I mean, the Sherlock category is the same thing.
Sherlock, more like Warlock.
Okay, you can say a lot about Sherlock, but it isn't boring. That's like there's plenty of legit reasons to dislike Sherlock.
Like that thing I said earlier at the chess table.
What?
Peanut at the guy and it killed him.
But boring is not one of them. Anyway,
More like snoring
Oh yeah, John challenged somebody to a chess match.
And lost in like
This
4
man
turns.
brought his own chessboard.
Never challenge somebody who brings the chessboard.
What
This
if
is a
we
very
have checkers
basic
board?
thing.
I should bring like a game that no one understands and just play it.
Make up their Calvin ball. Just
Yes, I'll make a new Calvin ball. I'll call it Balvin Ball.
let's see. We're getting kind of close to. We're creeping up on an hour, so.
Oh, are we?
Well, it started on 47, so we were about 40 minutes. So we could probably keep it nice and tight so people actually listen to it at some point. If we wanted to wrap it up some.
Well, let's see. What did everyone purchase for fun?
Oh yeah. I got a map of the Princess Bride area, which is cool. I've been wanting one of those for a couple of years. And I got a really cool big carved candle, which we got to see them making.
Oh, that was awesome! I was like freaking out inside. I was like,
all of the artisan shows were surprisingly fun to watch.
Yeah.
Artisan shows are awesome.
It's like, hey, want to see someone make a candle? It's like, that sounds awful. And then you go watch it and you're like, that was the opposite of awful. And then like, hey, you want to see someone blow glass? And like, the first thing you hear when blow glass is like someone's going to be polishing something. Like, if you have no idea what the context is. And then you go and watch this guy like burn molten glass and make a beautiful like picture out of it with like all of the blood, sweat, and tears that he can muster. It's like, this is beautiful. This is art. This is what art used to be and should be.
And then I got some handmade paper, like 2 sheets of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have to come up with
It's like linen hemp paper
cool things to draw. Yeah.
you actually been wanting a map of the Princess Bride area?
I just wanted one of their maps, and I of all the options, that one looked like the most fun.
I honestly wanted the rupee chart, but I had no idea what I would do with it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of. I still haven't really. I really only played Skyrim for the first time last year. I still haven't ever gotten into Zelda.
I really wanted the southern oriented map that I almost got thrown out of a shop for saying that it was
Ethan dared call a southern oriented world map an upside down map.
I said it was-
inside of a map shop next to the guy who made them.
He said, whoa, and I said, don't worry, it's just upside to me. It's a correct map. I'm sorry.
There are people who get really into this kind of thing.
It was really cool, though. I kind of wanted it after he yelled at me about it. So it was a great selling tactic. I just didn't want to pay like $100 for a southern oriented map. It confused me when Russia was Australia, and I was like, eh.
I also bought more food this time. I didn't never really eat last time, so I actually tried more of their food.
We had
surprisingly good.
variety of macaroni and cheese.
We did. That was amazing.
It was so good, but I'm pretty sure it gave me dysentery.
They were pellets of fried the surrounding macaroni. And then they were like skewered on a stick, and they were delicious.
I need to get that next time.
I should have
Did you
tried
eat them off the
that.
stick, or did you pull them off the stick?
No, I pulled them off. Yeah,
See,
it's
I think that's
it
the
was
only
just
way to
pure
do it.
macaroni on the inside of whatever the breading is.
It's like the Chicken Express cream corn nuggets, which are amazing.
I actually spent
We should
all of my
stop at
money this
Chicken
time
Express.
on food. I didn't buy anything that was not food.
Oh, really?
Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I bought, let's see, I got like 1 lemon chill, 1 Italian ice, a beer, and a beer tasting thing.
We bought the beer tasting for me too.
Yeah. The beer tasting was actually pretty nice. They gave you like a card and you have like 8 little spots on it. You can try 8 beers, and there are 8 beers there, or you can try each one once or one multiple times. And the beers were, I mean, they were
good. Like they
They were pretty good beers. Most of them you couldn't just go out and buy in random stores, which was nice.
Like you'd have to go to a specialty store, which is exactly what you just said. Sorry.
No, I mean, but it was nice. It was also at the end of the day, so it was like, oh yeah.
And then we fought again, of course. We went to the fighting ring.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the fighting this time, but
fast. Me and John just destroyed each other. Jeffrey didn't interact for a while. Like last
Jeffrey
time.
and his girlfriend double teamed me. It was really annoying.
And it actually ended with Jeffrey versus Avery, which was interesting.
yeah. I mean, Avery didn't do anything, but she didn't survive long enough to be killed by Jeffrey last.
That's just like me in Super Smash Brothers. I basically like go hide in a corner until everyone kills each other, and then I just come out after I've been thunder spamming the entire time as Pikachu. And
Like
then
that in Minecraft.
White Lightning does not support this method of super smashing.
The Hunger Games servers in Minecraft. Like we discovered it's so easy to get second place. You just stay away from everybody. And the last people end up killing you.
yay.
There's always the guy that has like the map memorized and he just
Yeah, darn people who develop skill at games. I keep saying this. It's not fair to us who don't bother doing it.
But I think, that pretty much covers the whole fair, though, right?
That's pretty good. I mean, let's see
We
anything
didn't do much outside of the fair this time. We went and ate on Saturday, but I actually don't really remember that happening.
you just
so quiet the whole
I
time.
remember like I remember a dream.
I got free chili.
Yeah, no, the guy gave us
Wait,
free
Yeah, you
chili.
did.
My chili was 20 minutes late, and then super, super hot when it came out. So he said, I'll just take that off the bill, and that was nice. So I got free chili.
Yeah, we talked to the waiter about the Renfest.
Tom, we were talking about a red vest the whole time.
Yeah,
He said, so what's this red vest? I was like, oh no, Ren Fest.
Kyle, the truck is moving into the left lane so you can pass him. He is taking so much pity on you. But he was like, he was like, I'm not really sure what's going on. Like, what's that? And then after a while, he's like, his brain kind of takes over for a couple of seconds. Like, is there beer there? Like, yes. I was saying earlier, there's just something for everyone at the Renfest if you just want to sell it right. Music, art, beer, cleavage. It's there.
you can find all
Beer
of
with
it.
cleavage.
Yep.
It's there. Trust
That-
me.
You can find all the beer in cleavage. Lots of people use
Actually,
it. Like,
yeah, I did find a lady with beer in her cleavage, or maybe it was like a.
it might have been a bottle of something anyway.
It might. Yeah, it was like maybe.
It was a very
was it-
deep pocket for what it looked like.
Yeah.
And
that
we've
was-
come full circle.
Hey!
Hey,
Wait,
What?
because they're round.
but they're not. Okay, sort of.
Now we need to listen to Buck Bumble again.
I would
No,
understand.